Okay, so here we are in my next video, and I want to talk about a world of deception. Seems to me everywhere you look there is deception. Everywhere there's deception. You are deceived in school when you are taught a false history, a false science, a false self-identity of who you are, where you came from. There's more to our history than is taught in schools. That is fairly obvious to me now. There is definitely extraterrestrial interference going on, and it's obvious. It's just statistics, really. Science is now saying for every grain of sand in this on planet Earth, there is an Earth-like planet. So, as they say, you do the math. How many civilizations are far ahead of us, behind us, in terms of technological achievement? Millions, billions? And to think that they haven't come here and explored this planet is ludicrous. To think that's not happened so far. The politicians constantly lie to us. As Arnold Bernard, one of the bankers who came out and whistleblowed on what really happens in the elite circles in terms of satanic sacrifices to Moloch, these devil worshippers and what they get up to. It's just too horrible to contemplate. And we need to wake up to that they are preying on our kids. They are into them really, really sick stuff. I mean, I'm talking about drinking blood and flesh of youngsters. You know, how does anyone do that? A normal person cannot even think how that's possible. But these things are happening. There's just too much evidence. Go online and you'll find it. I mean, the level of deception everywhere is just horrific. I mean, the whole money system is a deception on humankind. It's a form of black magic, really, the way they've fooled humanity. And they do it through the school system, where you never get to learn anything about economics, about, you know, how money is created. And it's a rigged game. It's a rigged game where a few people, very evil psychopaths, I must say, who have given themselves the license to print money and the license to enact violence upon others to get their way. And while we have to work all week to get a wage in order to pay our bills and to buy our houses, get a roof over our heads, these people, they just print it out of thin air. They just type in some keystrokes and all of a sudden they are trillionaires, and they have this money. They call it fancy names like QE, interest rate swaps, all these fancy you know, fintech terms, and they are just thieves. They are thieves, and they pull the wool over the eyes of the population through men in suits and pretty ladies who speak to you and tell us what to think through the mass media. There are central points where all the information is concocted in order to make us act a certain way. Problem, reaction, solution. Tip of the hat to David Icke. I've learned a lot from that man. True hero. And if you look at the media, if you have two brain cells to rub together, you'll see that it's lies, it's deception. When a magician forms a trick, he always wants you to look away from where the action is actually happening. And he's very, very skilled at doing that. Well, the mainstream media is very good at pointing you in a direction which is away from where the real action is, from what you really need to do. It's misinformation, basically. What you really need to know, you're going to have to find out for yourself. You're going to have to make the effort, right? There's not going to be any free television service which is going to tell you what you need to know. That requires hard work. You're going to have to hunt for it yourself, and then you'll have to see which is your truth, because there is no absolute truth. Well, there is, but that's beyond our ken. You have to decide what is the highest form of truth that you can absorb and understand. So you got to realize that deception is everywhere. What you learn through television is something in order to manipulate you and to relieve you of your energy, to relieve you of your time, so that a few people can absorb it and feed even certain interdimensional entities which feed on fear and suffering, loosh as it's known. I mean, it's mind-boggling the amount of information there is, and people living their lives, you know, just ignoring it all and stressed out with the jobs, with the daily grind, and they don't even make the effort to find out more. It's truly liberating when you find out who you are, what you're doing here, and what how the psychopaths have taken over. And these are very sick people. They believe they've got one over. They call themselves elite. Can you believe that? Child murderers, rapists, pedophiles, they call themselves, we are the elite. These people are unfortunately lost souls. They think they are above the law, and you know what they are? Did you know that the Bank of International Settlements and by definition governments who set the laws and central banks are above the law, literally above the law. No country's law can touch them. And if they ever get into trouble, well, they just change the law. How many times has that happened? Executive order, for example. Yeah, I'll just change the law. It's legal to do that now, retrospectively. So, brother, you're being fooled. You need to wake up to what's really going on. The amount of lies. I mean, technology. Have you seen how far phones have come? And yet we still drive around in cars that are dinosaur age, combustion engine. Free energy devices have been around for decades, if not longer, because there's been many civilizations that have risen and fallen throughout time, which you're never taught in school about. But there are artifacts, there is buildings that prove this. There's technologies that existed beforehand that we don't even have the technology to build the pyramids. Everybody knows about this. One of the top intelligence guys in the space agency has said that Star Trek is real. I mean, I can't remember the name of the guy, but basically they've got Star Trek technology, but we don't get to see that. It is hidden from us. The trillions that disappear at the Pentagon one day before 9/11. Remember, Rumsfeld came out with, "Hey, we've lost 3 trillion. Sorry." He didn't even say sorry. This is taxpayer money. This is money that we have worked for. We create the real wealth. These people are parasites. They live off us, of our hard work. They have the greatest disdain and hatred for us and look down upon us as useless eaters. They have openly said that they want to kill 95% of the population. I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, I could go on. It's pretty damn depressing stuff, but not when you know who you are and what you're doing here, and you can rise above all of this. You can be instrumental in bringing in the golden age. If you look at the timeline of the yugas, like Kali Yuga and Sat Yuga, we are on the cusp of coming from the Kali Yuga, the Iron Age, to the Golden Age. And you've got to be instrumental in that. You've got to help to bring in the Golden Age. That means that every person whose lives you touch, you must bring truth, happiness, joy, and freedom to those people. If you don't, you're part of the problem, not the solution. So let's all I'll wrap it up and give you that's a taste of some of the things that I've found thanks to the internet, which has opened up vast amounts of forbidden knowledge, nascent knowledge, that I didn't even know that I didn't know. But how much more of it is out there? I mean, how much more is being hidden from us? Do you know what they're afraid of the most? That we awaken to our own power. Our imagination is so powerful individually, and yet, an infinite amount more powerful when used in concert with others. Group consciousness is extremely powerful. And if we knew how powerful that was, we could change the world. But they keep us divided. Divide and rule. That's the name of the game. But yeah, guys, we're extremely powerful beings. We're eternal, sparks of the divine, and we can do anything if we put our minds to it and our souls to it, purpose to it. So I'll cut it off there, and we'll have another chat next time. Thank you.